Good morning, students. In the previous class, we have already discussed about fusion. Majority of the welding processes that belongs to fusion welding process and pressure welding process, along with the special welding process we have already discussed. In this class, we will discuss about gas welding processes. Some of the important gas welding processes are oxyacetylene welding, oxyhydrogen welding, air acetylene welding, gas cutting, powder cutting are the very important gas welding processes. Their principle, equipment, chemical reaction involved, then advantages, disadvantages, applications, and other important aspects we'll discuss with this video class. So, however, the principle of gas welding, it is such that gas welding is a most important type of welding process. It is done by burning of fuel gases with the help of oxygen, which forms a concentrated flame of high temperature, which this flame directly strike the weld area and melt the weld surfaces and pillar material. The melted part of welding plates diffused in one another and creates a weld joint after cooling. The principle of gas welding, it is shown here. You look at the picture then. So there is a gas welding torch then, through which combustion of oxygen and acetylene gases emerge out at the tip of the torch and made to focus over the work part. So in between they have introduced a pillar material. So all these three, nothing but about work parts and a pillar material melts together and soaks a trickles of iron in between the parts to be joined. These gases, when melt and form a joint between the work parts, all these comes under the principles of gas welding process. Coming to the equipments of gas welding process. So you look at the picture, then clearly it is mentioned here. So those are gas cylinders. There are two cylinders. One, it is a oxygen cylinder, and another one is the acetylene cylinder. Oxygen cylinder normally marked with block, and acetylene cylinder, it is with red then, and the respective hoses are also same in color. These cylinders are filled with the gases between the nothing but oxygen, it is filled in between 3400 to 5200 liters of capacity. The oxygen is directly proportional to its pressure. Normally it kept close when cylinder it is in empty or not in use. Then acetylene cylinder, so it is maroon or red in color. Normally it is filled with the pressure. So it is filled amount of gases about 2800 to 5600 liter. Then it is a solid drawn steel cylinder which is charged to a pressure of 15.5 bar. Then these are the two cylinders. Then and coming to the oxygen and acetylene pressure regulators provided in the cylinders. So especially there are two gauges provided in the regulators. One, it is used to maintain the pressure of the gas stored in the cylinders. Another one, it is used to indicate the pressure of the gas flowing into the torch. Then, so however, both regulators control the flow of gases and the pressure of gases in the cylinder. Then oxygen and acetylene gas hoses, so they are highly flexible rubber hoses covered with cotton flies. Then, so that protects from hazard. Then coming to the welding torch, this is exactly consisting of a mixing chamber and a nozzle at its end. Then, so the mixing chamber mix the gases in the required proportions, and nozzle will leave the required amount of gases at the tip of the nozzle. Then, so therefore it is also providing it a needle valve or gas valve. Then therefore the required amount of gases from the cylinder to the nozzle, cylinder to the what mixing chamber, it allows. Then both the gases will be mixed up and enter into the tip of the nozzle. When it enter into the tip of the nozzle and ignite, then the gases takes combustion and releases a desired flame, such as neutral flame, oxidizing flame, or carbonizing flame, required for melting ferrous and non-ferrous metals and alloy. Then along with this pillar rod, it is pillar rod and flux. Then normally pillar rod, it is exactly similar to the what base metal to be welded. Then and fluxes used to prevent the oxidation. Normally fluxes in the form of gases or liquids or powders used on the work parts to prevent oxidation, atmospheric oxidation. Then coming to the goggles and the gloves, these will used to what prevent the hazard. Then however it is a convenient, safe and inexpensive means of inexpensive means used in the what gas welding processes. Then coming to the what last part, that is a spark lighter. Then so it is for safe, inexpensive and lightening the torch. Then the purpose of using matchbox, it is not in practice with the gas welding process, because harmful for the operator, and they are constructed from the flint and steel. Then however these are the what important elements or parts of gas welding. So all these, it will be accumulated before starting the welding. Then so then coming to the what steps to be followed while doing gas welding. Then when preparing to weld, it is most important to assemble all of the materials you will need once you begin welding. Gather parts, equipments, fixtures, safety gear, pillar rods and the material you will be welded. You should first thoroughly clean the materials you will be welded to remove any contaminants, and that can be cause welding defects later. Normally by mechanical or by acid pickling, all the parts are cleaning. So acid pickling, nothing but about the parts to be welded are dipped in a dilute solution of hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid, that remove the oxide, lint, wax, grease, dust particles and other foreign particles. Therefore parts to be welded are cleaned. Then in the next step is to place the material you will be welding in the required place using clamps or vice grips, and then choose the correct size nozzle for the type of weld you will be performing. Use the correct size nozzle will make the welding process much easier. Open the main valve located on the cylinder by rotating it 90-degree clockwise. After opening the valve of the oxygen tank and adjusting the amount of pressure, feel comfortable to ignite the flame. So then amount of oxygen gas also you have to leave it, because all the gases it will be mix it in the chamber. Once it come out at the tip of the what nozzle, then when it ignites, then combustion takes place. During combustion, the oxyacetylene flame consists of oxygen and acetylene. Acetylene is composed of carbon and hydrogen, and the gas burns in air with smoky flame. When oxygen is mixed with the acetylene in equal proportions, a neutral flame it is obtained. With a blue non-luminous flame it is produced. Thus for complete combustion, ratio of oxygen to acetylene is 2.5 to 1. The temperature of flame is dependent upon the relative proportions of the two gases, but temperature and complete combustion are not only the factors for welding, because of different purposes. Different ratios of gases have given best results. Example, for normal welding, most suitable mixture is generally obtained by having equal proportions of oxygen and acetylene. So when equal proportions of oxygen and acetylene ignites at the torch of the neutral flame, it is obtained. That is normally cannot be used for all kind of metals and alloys, but however used for specific application. When 2 moles of acetylene mixed with the 5 moles of oxygen reacts and releases a 4 moles of carbon dioxide and 2 moles of water. Then this mixture produces a neutral flame which is neither oxidizing nor carburizing and is very suitable for welding. Under this condition, the following chemical reaction takes place. Then acetylene reacts with oxygen, carbon monoxide and hydrogen is ready. And carbon monoxide further reaction takes place with the carbon monoxide, again combines with the oxygen and it releases a carbon dioxide. And hydrogen release with oxygen, water it is releasing. However, from the above equations, it is obvious that complete combustion takes place in 2 phases. From the oxygen and acetylene as obtained from torch, incomplete combustion takes place, producing carbon monoxide. Above reaction clearly indicate here then due to incomplete combustion in these reactions, so carbon monoxide it produces. This reaction takes place at the inner core of the flame, where the highest temperature is developed, and it can be clearly seen as well defined with whiter inner cone. Further reaction takes place in outer cone and gets their oxygen from surrounding atmosphere. So, however, with this all carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, oxygen completely reacts, and these gases will be controlled by operating valves. Then the desired flame such as a neutral, oxidizing or carburizing flame it is obtained. Such flames can be used for welding either ferrous or non-ferrous metals or alloys. However, for complete combustion, acetylene reacts with oxygen, carbon dioxide and water it is released as we discussed in the earlier. Then different flames of oxygen, different flames in the oxygen flame, neutral flame. There are 2 clearly defined zones in neutral flame. The inner zone consists of a luminous cone that is bluish white. Surrounding this is a light blue flame envelope or sheath. This neutral flame is obtained by starting with an excess acetylene flame in which the feather extension of the inner cone. When the flow of acetylene is decreased or the flow of oxygen is increased, the feather will tend to disappear. The neutral flame begins when the feather disappears. The neutral or a balanced flame is obtained when the mixed torch gas consists of approximately 1 volume of oxygen and 1 volume of acetylene. It is obtained by gradually opening the oxygen valve to shorten the acetylene flame until a clearly defined inner cone is visible. In the neutral flame, the temperature at the inner cone tip is approximately about 3232 degrees centigrade, while at the end of the outer sheath or envelope, the temperature drops to approximately 1260 degrees centigrade. This variation within the flame permits some temperature control when making a weld. This position of the flame to molten puddle can be changed and the heat control in this manner. You look at the neutral flame given in the figure, then there are only 2 zones, a long outer feather and a short inner cone. As we mentioned in the beginning, then there are only 2 zones in the neutral flame. One, it is a luminous cone that is a bluish white, inner luminous cone with a bluish white, surrounded this is a light blue flame envelope or a sheath. So, however, these 2 zones will able to generate a temperature of about 3232 degrees centigrade to 1200 degrees. Means at the inner cone there is a high temperature, at the outer feather there is a temperature is minimum or less than. However, this can be able to obtain with the combustion of 1 mole of oxygen or one volume of oxygen and one volume of acetylene. Therefore, you can able to obtain a balanced neutral flame. Then coming to the carburizing flame. So this flame, carburizing flame has excess acetylene. The inner cone has a feathery edge extending behind it. This white feather is called the acetylene feather. If the acetylene feather is twice as long as the inner cone, it is known as a 2x flame, which is nothing but about excess oxygen, which is a way of expressing the amount of excess acetylene. The carburizing flame may add carbon to the weld metal. Reducing or carburizing welding flames are obtained when slightly less than one volume of oxygen is mixed with one volume of acetylene. The reducing or carburizing flame can be always recognized by the presence of three distinct flame zones. Nothing but about one volume of oxygen and two volume of acetylene they have added there. So there is a clearly defined bluish white inner cone, white intermediate cone indicate the amount of excess acetylene, and a light bluish outer flare envelope. This type of flare burns with a coarse rushing sound. It has a temperature of approximately 3200 degree at the inner cone tips. It is clearly shown in the figure. You look at them, it has a three zone. Then one, it is a luminous inner cone having a very high temperature of about 3200 degrees centigrade and covered with the acetylene feather. The presence of excess acetylene it indicates, and a blue outer envelope. This exactly indicates the carburizing flame, normally used for welding of all kind of metals and alloys, especially when welding of ferrous material. So this may add a carbon percentage into the metal, into the weldment, thereby it increases the mechanical properties. However, this can be used for all kind of metals and alloys, especially used in ferrous metals and alloys. Then coming to the oxidizing flame. Oxidizing flame are produced when slightly more than one volume of oxygen is mixed with one volume of acetylene initially. Later than one volume of acetylene and two volume of oxygen they have added. To obtain this type of flame, the torch should first be adjusted to a neutral flame. The flow of oxygen is then increased until the inner cone is shortened to about 1/10 of its original length. When the flame is proportional or properly adjusted, the inner cone is pointed and slightly purple. An oxidizing flame can be recognized by its distinct hissing sound. The temperature of this flame is approximately 3500 degrees centigrade at the inner cone tip. Oxidizing flames are commonly used to weld metals like zinc, copper, manganese and cast iron. So it cannot be used for ferrous metals because it may get oxidized. When applied to steel, an oxidizing causes molten metal to foam and give off sparks. This indicates that the excess oxygen is combining with the steel and burning it. An oxidizing flame should not be used for welding steel because the deposited metal will be porous, oxidized and brittle. This flame will ruin most metals and should be avoided. A slightly oxidizing flame is used in torch brazing of steel and cast iron. A strong oxidizing flame is used in the welding of brass and bronze, normally used for non-ferrous metals and alloys. In most cases, the amount of oxygen used in this flame must be determined by observing the action of the flame on the molten metal. You look at the picture, the features or characteristics of the oxidizing flame given here. Then it is only having a two zones again. So inner short cone and a pointed short cone, you can call it as inner pointed short cone, covered with the outer large feathery envelope then. So however, maximum temperature of about 3500 degrees centigrade it is able to obtain at the inner cone, and outer envelope it free heat is metals and alloys. However, this cannot be used for all kind of metal because oxygen, excessive oxygen may entrap and get oxidized. So however, this can be identified by supplying 2 volumes of oxygen and 1 volume of acetylene gas. So these are the different types of flames, their features and applications in welding ferrous and non-ferrous metals and alloys. Coming to the techniques of gas welding, there are mainly two techniques. One, it is a leftward or forward welding, and another one it is a rightward or backward welding. So in this technique, the torch is held in the right hand. Leftward or forward welding we'll discuss then. So that is clearly mentioned here, then leftward welding and rightward welding. You look at the pictures and tell me. In this technique, the torch is held in the right hand and the pillar rod is in the left hand of the operator. The welding is started from the right end of the plate and travels toward the left hand. The torch tip makes at an angle of about 6 to 70 degree and the pillar rod makes an angle of about 30 to 40 degree with the work surface. The flame is given a circular, rotational or side to side movement to obtain uniform fusion, made to obtain uniform fusion, while the rod should be moved backward and forward along the plate. This technique is used for unbeveled steel plates up to 3 mm and beveled plates up to 6 mm. So you look at the picture, the leftward welding or a forward welding they call it as. So here then the welding is started from left hand end of the plate and it travels toward the left hand. The tip of the torch tip makes an angle 60 to 70 degree and pillar rod makes an angle of 30 to 40 degree with the weld surface. Mainly used for all kind of welds then, but it is a leftward welding. Means torch moves from right to the left. Then coming to the rightward welding, it is clearly mentioned in the figure then. The arrangement of torch and pillar material, pillar rod to the work surface and movement of torch you observe in the figure then. So detailed explanation will discuss now then. In the rightward or backward welding technique, the welding torch is held in the right hand and the pillar rod is in the left hand. The welding is started from left hand end of the plate and travels towards the right hand. The torch tip makes an angle of 40 to 50 degree and the pillar rod makes an angle of 30 to 40 degree with the work surface. The pillar rod is given circular motion and torch is moved straight along the joint. This technique is better and economical for welding heavy steel sections and plates over 6 mm thickness then. So less than 6 mm, it is greater than 6 mm. Then coming to the advantages of gas welding. So equipments are portable and most versatile. It is a most versatile process. Gas welding is probably portable and most versatile process. The range of gases welding products are very wide. It can be applied to a variety of manufacturing, maintenance and repair work. So better control over the temperature. The gas welding provides better control of the temperature of the metal in the weld zone by controlling the gas flame then. Nothing but about neutral, oxidizing and carburizing. Better control over pillar metal deposition rate. In gas welding, the source of heat and pillar metal are separate, unlike arc welding. This provides better control over pillar metal deposition rate. Not depends with the conduction of current as you find it in the arc welding process, in the gas welding process. Therefore, better control over pillar metal deposition is very easier than other fusion welding process. Suitable to weld dissimilar metals. So with the suitable pillar and flux material, dissimilar metals can be welded. So low cost and maintenance. The cost and maintenance of the gas welding equipment is low as compared to some other welding processes. The equipment is versatile, self-sufficient and portable. All these are the advantages. Coming to the disadvantages, not suitable for heavy sections since the heat produced is not sufficient and hence heavy sections cannot be joined economically. Less working temperature of gas flame. The flame temperature is less than the temperature of the arc. Slow rate of heating. The rate of heating and cooling is relatively slow is slow. In some cases, this is advantageous. Not suitable for refractory and reactive material because like tungsten, molybdenum and other reactive metal like tungsten, zirconium cannot be welded by gas welding process because some other chemical reactions and oxidation process. Large heat affected zone area. So gas welding results in large heat affected zone due to prolonged heating of joint. Neighboring or adjacent material gets affected with the high temperature and cooling in the atmosphere. Then flux shielding is not so effective because flux shielding in gas welding is not so effective as in case of TIG, MIG and other atomic hydrogen welding or submerged arc welding and all. Oxidation cannot be avoided completely in these processes. Problem in storing and handling of gas. More safety problems are associated with the storage and handling of explosive gases. Example, acetylene and oxygen gases stored under some pressure and a large amount of gases in the cylinder. Then applications, it is means gas welding process used to join thin metal plates. It can be used to join both ferrous and non-ferrous metals. Gas welding mostly used in fabrication of steel metal. It is widely used in automobile and aircraft industries. Metal cutting, used for structural work, shipbuilding, pipes and pipe fitting, construction work. All it is related to the application of oxyacetylene welding. Coming to the other welding, that is air acetyl welding process. You look at the picture of oxyacetylene welding equipments used in this oxyacetylene welding, oxyacetylene gas welding. Same equipment it is used for air acetyl welding. So only the difference is that atmospheric air stored in some pressure, not as oxygen then, and mixed with acetylene to melt and vaporize or fuse the work parts. Normally this air acetyl it is mainly used for cutting ferrous and non-ferrous metals and alloys. Other equipments, principle, everything it is exactly similar, but acetylene excessively used for complete combustion of carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide and releases heavy heat more than 3500 degrees centigrade. That is mainly used to melt and fuse all kind of metals and alloys. Therefore this process it is normally used for cutting of metals and alloys. So air acetylene it is mainly used for cutting of metals and alloys. So in case of oxygen cylinder, air cylinder they are using, stored at some pressure, and same gas it is mixed with acetylene at the torch tip. Equipment it is exactly same as the oxyacetylene. Same equipment it is used to cut all kind of metals and alloys. So this is exactly oxyacetylene gas welding and air acetylene gas welding processes. Remaining gas welding processes such as oxyhydrogen welding, then gas cutting and power cutting we will discuss in the next class. Then thank you all then.